Welcome back to Tech, Tesla and Trends. I've been working through Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, and enjoying the two different perspectives that she's been sharing. That of a fixed mindset, which is incapable of learning or really changing, and if their gift doesn't take them to the top, they blame others. And the growth mindset that enables people to grow and to change and to work together with others in teams in order to accomplish a greater goal and to produce value in their organizations. And I've been looking at that from a perspective of these are the things that I see in Elon Musk as far as where he is going, what he is doing. He's always trying to encourage the people around him to do their best, to produce, to go beyond what they think they can do, to come up with answers instead of excuses. And he's just as willing to take criticism, provided you actually have a legitimate criticism. If you just don't like what he had to say, that's, not going to impact him in one little whit. In fact, he probably will just let it roll off his back and keep moving, because what the world thinks of Elon Musk doesn't matter. Elon Musk is working towards the goals that matter to him. And in his case, he has a worldview that is much greater than just himself. He's building off of quite literally 1,000-year goals that he knows he's not going to be around to see, but is hoping that his small contributions will be sufficient to make that impact over that 1,000-year period. If you are willing to consider what that actually means, the true growth mindset that actually exists in that level of planning ahead is building people sufficient to ensure that they have an understanding of those goals, i.e. making life multi-planetary and making our energy self-sustaining or in a sustainable format. And if you look at where that leads the world long term, it is a very powerful mindset forward in his view. He is looking at making a difference, not just because he is great, because that's not how he views it, as far as I can tell. He sees a path forward, and he's working towards that path forward. And this is that narrow mindset of, hey, we have to keep moving forward and pushing forward towards this goal of a multi-planetary civilization is not a negative thing to those that are purely focused on an environment at home. In many cases, I see that there's a criticism that gets tossed out. Well, why is he spending money on space when he should be working on making life better here on Earth? And that particular argument in my book really holds very little water. And I've addressed this a number of times in the comments and in conversations with friends. But ultimately, space has become a testing ground or a proving ground and discovery realm for technologies that make a difference in our lives. And you cannot see the true benefit of what space brings to us unless you are willing to actually dig into the origins of patents and some of the most fundamental and simple things. They truly are developed from the space program, and it's a long list, and I'm really not Um, not going to go into that particular list right now, but it is out there. There's plenty of other websites that go into all of the numerous advances that exist today because we have invested in space travel and going to the moon. And for that matter, going back to the moon is not a repetitive process. And it's one that is truly leading in a growth perspective or towards growth long term for humanity. It is not something that is just an aggrandizement of a single individual. In returning to the moon, SpaceX is enabling our society, not just one nation per se, because there is truly a multinational commitment and investment that's occurring within the Starship community, like Dear Moon and the overall goal that NASA has. But those are multiple nations, and there will be more, and it will continue to grow. Ultimately, space is the inheritance that we all have an opportunity to benefit from. It is a ground of research and an ability to experiment and to learn more, not only of our origin, but of what we understand of the world around us and the beauty that is truly baked into the earth we live on, and that was put here for what I believe is a purpose. And this is not accident. So as we look forward and see that vision that Elon has for a multi-planetary civilization, it is truly one of growth that is envisioned, and it's one that he's encouraging others to step into that, and encourages other companies to challenge and to come into this space. And you can see that there are some that are starting to step into that. There's a number of smaller rocket companies that have great ideas and that are beginning to test their first rocket prototypes. This is going to truly be a wonderful age when we look back on it in 100 years. I truly believe that the innovation that Elon Musk sparked with the formation of SpaceX is one that is necessary for the growth of humanity. And it's a vision that I'm not sure he truly had crystallized at the moment of the foundation of SpaceX, because the story he tells is that he just wanted to get NASA more funding. But I think it's something that's grown, and he's caught a vision for a future of humanity out amongst the stars. And I believe that there is a great amount of humility that comes to humanity as we expand into the unknown and challenge ourselves to explore and to become something more than merely bound to the earth in a mundane and politically divided fashion. This is one of the most important views or visions that I believe Elon Musk has, is that of making humanity multi-planetary. I'm sure there's some ideas and comments that some of you might have. Feel free to chime in the comments down below, and we can certainly discuss this in more detail. And for now, have a great night, and we'll talk to you again shortly. Good night.